土産話はあるのだろうな。
You might buy it if it's 95% off. What, Nioh 3? You buy it for a few dollars? Okay. Well, I guess you're not getting it for a while then. Hey, Shark Zoo. What? Did I ever get my PC fixed? No, actually. The PC I had to, I got it refunded. Hey, Autumn Red. I got it refunded, actually. It was €80 base game, €120 season pass. Oh, no chance. That's a lot of money. I don't even feel the urge to go sailing for it. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Have you heard about that Koei Tecmo upcoming game registered under the alias Fuji? Yeah, I heard about it. I heard about it. Don't know what it's about, so just reserving any and all judgment. Could be cool. Don't know. Koei Tecmo is a separate company compared to Team Ninja for me. Koei Tecmo has all sorts of stuff that I'm not really interested in, but Team Ninja stuff I generally really like. Generally. No one knows. Some people are thinking it might be the next Team Ninja game. I mean, who knows? Could be cool. Like a sort of sequel to Rise of Ronin, just not really a sequel. Oh, like sequel in terms of like gameplay, not an actual focus. I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes, like I'm gonna do a little warm up and then I'll do my boss. Like this is a very spontaneous stream, all things considered. Of like, oh, I'm gonna do a tier list. I like made no announcement whatsoever, but I figure I'll just make it now. I'll have to change the thumbnail and whatnot. Let me get a little warm up in for some Nioh gameplay. Since the story was finished, and story-wise it might make no sense, but the game was fun, so sort of spiritual successor. I guess we'll see soon enough. Yeah. Have you realized we didn't get Deathveil Soul Core? You're right, we didn't. Some crazy stuff might be going on in the DLC story if we were to get the core. Yeah, there's a big old laser beam, huh? Could be cool. I also like some Omega Force games from Koei Tecmo personally. I love Wild Hearts as much as most Team Ninja games. Nice! So for Deathveil, it might even be a theme for a Guardian Spirit. It's possible. Don't know what to expect. Kato, yeah, you are first on push. Oops, I died. You're first overall? Yes, yes you are. You're the first. You're just the first period. You're in first place. You're my first place viewer. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Pretty good, how are you guys? Just came home from training, eating and sleeping soon. Okay. Yeah. Alright, after if I win or I lose, regardless, I'm gonna switch over and do the boss tier list. It's been nearly 15 minutes. And then I'll just kind of go through it, talk about it. Today's gonna be chill. Yeah, Nioh Enjoyer. Obviously a yokai that replaces the sun would be fucking cool. Totally cool. Oh, I actually got to attack it in the air? That's kind of cool. Alright, well, promise is a promise. That's it for now. That's the first time I've actually ever reached it in the air. Well, now I know. Now I know I can hit Demon of Envy in midair. That's kind of cool. Oh well. Alright, so boss tier list time. Let's go, I'm gonna get to it now. So I got a tier maker here. Tier list maker here. So I'm gonna change up these categories to not most difficult. But this is based on, like, forget this. I don't care about the difficulty per se. The difficulty plays a factor in my enjoyment, but it's not like the big thing, just to be very clear. So for anybody watching this, of the VOD of the stream, or just tuning in right now, my tier list is subjective. This is personal and based on what I like. That is all. So I'm just going to be talking about my personal preferences, what I enjoy, and talk about why I enjoy them. So just get to it. And if you have questions, I'll check in every so often. So this person made a tier list. I understand that the text can be kind of tiny. So I'll just try to make some of the stuff brief. Now, there are a ton of these bosses, as you can see here. However, a lot of these are they're just what has been given a boss health bar. Like, so, for example, there is... Where do they got it? They got, like, Oni and Gaki, for example. That's an actual boss fight, but because of the boss health bars, but I don't think anyone actually considered it as a boss. Yeah, it's a personal tier list. It's subjective. Didn't know you were a person? You know I'm a person now. Alright, so there's going to be a lot of things I put in the F tier list. F for forgettable, effectively. So let's see. Oh, that's fine. Row 2 is fine. Okay, Aggrieved Warrior, All-Seeing Mage. Yeah, forgettable. Cavern Ascetic. Enki as a boss. Blood Spurting Ogun. Uma Kotaro. Demon Slayer. Obviously, Gaki Chief is garbage. I'll have a whole separate tier list, a tier thing for him. Actually, let me create that now. Can I create one right now? Add a row below. Okay, this is the garbage tier. Alright. So just to be very clear. Okay, you go there. Nah, you suck too. Probably put Saito there. Waira? Really? Shinran. Yeah, you can go there. You can go there. What is... Well, very interesting, I suppose. Wakatsu Warrior, Kyokutsu. So much forgettable stuff. Yoki? Put Mizuki Gosuke up there. I think those are the main ones, right? Baba Nobuharu, Blood Edge Demon, yes. Okay, the 3 demons, Great Tengu, both forms of Hiriko, Ibaraki, Doji. Yeah. All this is fine. Onryoki. I'll probably put you there. Yeah, sure. I'll figure that out later. I think I got all of the forgettable bosses put away somehow. Okay. Deathville one-shotted me through a pillar, yeah. Who's Hattori Takeo? I don't know. Some Shinsengumi guy, I think. Alright, so I can talk about this at large. Easily what's in garbage tier. It should be self-explanatory. Anything to do with Gaki is garbage automatically. Like I've been telling Team Ninja since the very beginning, delete Gaki from the source code. It adds 0 value to the game, just get rid of it. It's an abomination. Please just call them out of existence already. So there's that. When it comes to things in the F tier, in my mind, these are all the encounters that were either forgettable or I didn't think were particularly noteworthy when it comes to boss fights. So let's I'm gonna lump in all of the human NPC bosses in that category. So Aggrieved Warrior, All-Seeing Mage, basically all the human enemies in here. To me, were just forgettable bosses. I just wanted to kill them once and then be done with it. That's my logic. I haven't, even to this point of the game, I don't enjoy fighting a single one of these enemies as a boss. The yokai I put in there because I don't think they deserve a boss health bar. It's kind of strange, but I guess for the purpose of the mission that they're put into, they're designated as that appropriate boss. But to me, it's largely forgettable. And I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm so excited to fight Yoki again. Or I'm so excited to fight Magatsu Warrior. Oh my gosh. And that one side mission from the the Warring States period map. I'm not like, oh my gosh, so cool. So all of those encounters are kind of just put into here. They're things that I guess are neat in some ways, but not things not things that I look forward to fighting at all, like remotely in the slightest. So that's really it. That's the entirety of the logic there. So I don't know if anybody has any questions over that. I kind of doubt it. So next up we have, I guess, stuff in E tier. I'm not sure what I want to put in E tier. But for me, there is, let's see. I have the main dojo bosses, the newer ones to a certain extent, and Honda. So Saito Fuku I think was kind of interesting with her Onyo magic, but just kind of a paper bag. Hattori Hanzo, trivialized. Yagyu Munemori, same thing, also trivialized. And Honda Tadakatsu, even despite certain changes that have been made in between Nioh 2 and Nioh 3, I don't enjoy fighting him, so he's kind of been put there. I will actually raise Onryoki up now that I think about it. Onryoki, it's alright to fight him. I'd rather fight him than any of these 3 bosses because he has a modified moveset that's at least kind of cool. So, he got an upgrade. What's up? Also, what's Onridoki doing on E tier? It's S tier? Well, S tier for you, not for me. I like Onryoki more in Nioh 3 compared to Nioh 2. I think the added attacks that he was given make him a little bit more interesting. So, yeah, definitely more enjoyable. I put Mezuki and Gozuki in here. They're more enjoyable in Nioh 3 compared to Nioh 2, simply because of all the new options that are available in Nioh 3. But it can kind of be a clusterfuck of a fight, and I'm not like, it's more of a challenge where I just need to survive stuff rather than I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to go and fight this. So that's what's going on there. Now we've got kind of like the main proper bosses of Nioh 3. Some of them are repeats. Let's see, which one are the lesser memorable ones? For me, in all honesty, it's going to be, I think, let's see. I'm not sure what I put on D tier. I'll probably reorganize this later. Okay, which ones? think all of these are fine. Okay, human form Yamagata Masakage, I'll probably put in C. Kamaitachi, yeah, I don't really care for Kamaitachi. Meizuki and by extension Gozuki, they're alright. That's a lot of F, yeah. Otoroshi's garbage tier. No, Gakichi is not S tier. Yeah, the enemies in F are because they're all forgettable in some capacity, whether it is, oh, they've been given boss status, but they're really not, or to me, they're just glorified revenants. And pretty much all the human enemies fall into that category here. And there's nothing particularly special or unique about it to me. Blue Rose, you haven't missed too much. I think about like 10 minutes. I've only really started getting on the meat and potatoes now anyway. So, okay. Let's see. Overall, like that. Anyone I want to put? I'm probably going to rearrange some of these tiers in a bit. Okay. So let me talk about C tier. I think this is what I have on C tier for now. Again, this is subject to change during the stream. Yamagata Masakage is overall a pushover for a fight. Like, it works for the very first boss fight, but beyond that, in terms of there being anything particularly cool about him, I can't notice a thing. I just know him as like the super slow attacker with like a grab and a burst attack to worry about, and that's it. Kamaitachi, I just don't really find the fight that engaging. A lot of the fights from Nioh 2 that were ported over in Nioh 3, while they may have been given some upgrades, it's not significant enough on average for me to really enjoy it. It's not like this fresh new experience. Especially considering Kamaitachi is someone that I fought like 3 times in the base game, I think at least, and it just kind of gets old really fast. Meizuki's changed up a bit, and by extension Gozuki has changed too. But it's like not any more exciting. I'm not like, oh yeah, this is a revitalization of this boss. It's like, you know, maybe like a thing here or two. It's not really a big deal. The fact that Kamaitachi Spin Dash still has janky Hixbox and Nioh 3 is crazy, right? Hey, what's up, Fatuous? Jeffrey, good to see you. So yeah, it's like these are the enemies that I'd rather not engage with all that often. It's like I can beat them, but I start to feel like I'm falling asleep. So now we got the meat and potatoes of the bosses that I think are actually on the enjoyable side. Now let's see who I've got. This will probably take a bit. I've got S, A, and B tiers. So I can probably, let's see. I think I'm going to put Kunimatsu in B tier. Ooh, Fish Boy, I'll put also there. And Nenra, probably C tier as well. Kasha, I do enjoy Kasha a little more. Ryomen a little more. Ooh, actually, I think I need to change this up a little bit. Yeah, I think I need to change this. In D tier, let me actually shift things down. Yeah. Kunimatsu there. But would I rather fight Kunimatsu or Kasha is the question. Probably put them... Actually, I'll swap it. Yeah, I'm gonna reduce things a tier. I think Kasha's neat. I think Ryomen's also neat. Hino Enma, kind of fun. Kind of. Shitsune is definitely higher. I think I'll put these two down there. Demon form? Demon form's okay. But am I like woohoo for it? Not really. You know, am I more curious about Yoshi? Not so much. Oh, I haven't. I'm still figuring out my tier list stuff, Demi. This isn't finalized. All right, for sure. Okay. Let me put some things definitively in S tier. I do like Obsession, maybe a little less than others, but it's still enough to be up there. Final Form Hiroko, yes, I do like. Nori Botake for sure. Oh my god, I do like Takeda. I like the yokai form more. Chikotsu Baba, kind of forgettable. Kusanagi's is alright. Ibaraki Doji, I think, is a fun one. Regular Hiroko. Yeah, Great Tengu is okay. Kita CJ's alright. It's alright. Interesting at least. Otoroshi is... Koski. I think this might be it, but let me kind of go through it. We're just falling off. Ledges fit in. Uh... Um... I don't know. It's a good question. Also, remember the story I told you, Atsukuna? Well, it turned out to be true. We did fight him in Heian era. Yeah, we did. We did. All right, so I'm not decided on this. It's all right. Put him there. We put Great Tengu down here too. Okay, all right. So just to be clear, F tier is stuff that's forgettable. Either they are, to me, glorified revenants, NPC revenants for the human enemies, or the yokai enemies I don't think deserve a boss bar. Okay. Let's see. Kasha's alright. Ryomen I think is kind of neat. I do prefer. I like. I guess Kasha's rework is somewhat interesting, but it's largely feels like the same fight. Ryomen Sukuna is at least different. Actually, I might put him up then. Would I rather fight Ryomen or Kunimatsu? Ryomen. Would I rather fight Ryomen or Fishboy? Ryomen. Yeah. Actually, Otoroshi's a little bit more interesting to me. Put him up here. This might even go B tier. This might even go B tier. Would I rather fight Kasha or Kunimatsu? Kasha would be more straightforward, but Kunimatsu's cooler. It's kind of pros and cons. Fishboy is a bit irritating, but I also kind of suck, so I might actually put him in B tier. The Death Veil fight? Not directly fighting the Death Veil, so I haven't included that. I like doing all the gauntlets was neat. It was cool, but I'm talking about singular bosses for the most part. It was a cool thing, but kind of outside the scope of this. Okay, who would I rather fight, Kunimatsu or these people? Probably Kunimatsu. Kasha's alright. Could some of these in B go to A? Maybe. I don't know. Well, all right. So let me now chat about, to be very clear, about C tier. C tier to me is kind of enemies that are kind of like, yeah, I can fight them, but I don't really enjoy them all that much. Kasha, I think, is more interesting than I expected. And for me, Kunimatsu, the only reason he's in C tier and not in a much higher tier is just because he has this tendency to kind of just roll away and then just regen like all of his ki. And it's just a full disengage of the fight. And I do not like that. But all right, just to answer your question, Nioh Enjoyer, I'd say a Death Veil fight's 8 out of 10, I guess. Put it in like A or B category. But for Kunimatsu, it's just the aspect of him just backing off. It gets really awkward, and it just takes me out of the fight. That's the biggest, most frustrating thing about it. If it wasn't for that, I'd like the fight significantly more. That's all. That's like the only reason he's in C tier and not in A tier for me. Yeah, because otherwise, like the attacks he does, the aura that he has, so to speak, is so cool. I like it. So let's get on to B tier. When it comes to B tier, these are generally things I enjoyed more of, or I'm curious about, or found cool in some way. Hino Enma from returns from Nioh 1. I did like her rework significantly. It's a lot of new updated moves. I definitely think, yeah, they knocked it out of the park for bringing a Nioh 1 boss into Nioh 2. Oh yeah, they're also missing Joro Gumo somewhere in here. Joro Gumo, another returning boss. I would put her in C tier alongside Kasha. Surprised they didn't include Joro Gumo in this. Oh well, whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, I like Hino Enma as a fight. It's definitely one of those things I'm curious about and want to lab more. Next is Ryomen Sukuna. I did like his rework as well. He's not necessarily the coolest one of the bunch, so it might be like more towards B- territory for me. But the updates were cool. And I did like, and the novelty has been nice, and the new attacks, and the fight's also fairly different considering we have samurai style and ninja style to engage with as opposed to just old Nioh 2 mechanics. So that's been kind of fun. So that's pretty much for that. Yoshitsune, I do like. I still do like him. I was somewhat tempted to put him in C tier simply because I fought him like a bajillion times, but I don't think there's any denying how cool of a boss he is and how much I enjoyed him in Nioh 2. So he retains a B spot. Kusanagi, I do like the Kusanagi fight at large. The only frustrating part about it for me is being able to switch between Himiko and Kusanagi easily. It can be difficult for me to lock on the different targets. But I think the interactions are really cool, and I think if certain camera issues or other issues were addressed surrounding the fight rather than the fight itself, I would rate this much higher. Next up is Okita Soji for B tier. I do like Okita's fight a lot. I love the aggression that he has, but I found that the counterplay that I have just kind of becomes very one note after a while. It's either just like this onslaught of pressure I put onto him, and it's almost like I'm waiting my turn just a little bit. Granted, some of this could be a skill issue because he's not a boss fight I have mastered, but I also haven't been that excited to master him either, so there's that too. No, Gaki Chief is in G tier for garbage. I have an idea for tiers. Why not make a tier called Onryoki Slap because of how he shows up in every game, and one called Gaki Slap because of how garbage they are? Gaki Chief? No, not S tier. He's in G tier for garbage. I don't know how late I am. Let's see, how many minutes? About 25 minutes for the tier list talk. You will not tolerate Kagetoki slander, don't you worry. You don't have to be worried about that. Okay, so Okita Soji, yeah, like, there's some things I really like about it, and some things I do not, and they kind of balance out, so for me, I put him in B tier for that reason. Baba Nobuharu, I like quite a lot. He's just one of the slower bosses. I imagine things will change in the DLC with like New Game Plus and whatnot. But I do like the whole feinting aspect of him. He does a lot of feints. And yeah, it's definitely like a cooler boss to fight. It's just on the slower side, so I'm not necessarily the most engaged compared to some of the other bosses, which really pack like a serious punch to me. But very cool addition. Next up is Kajiwara Kagetoki. I actually like him compared to other bosses. He does summon a lot of soul cores and they can get kind of irritating, and he has all the hatchets and all that stuff, but by and large, I do find it kind of fun. I'm not the best at him, and so there's a lot of learning I have to do in that regard. But I find him actually pretty unique. I don't consider him as bullshit as some others do, to be honest. I overall think he's fair. He's just tricky. And I have to learn how to evade certain things or avoid certain things, like his soul cores, and understand how to work with those. But I've found that if I can just stay on pressure on him, it feels pretty balanced, all things considered. For me, anyway. So I think it's a welcome addition, and I'd much rather fight him than Saito Toshimitsu any day of the week. Next up is Great Tengu. I do like Great Tengu, he's just kind of squishy. He has a lot of cool attacks. Actually, let me put him on A tier. Actually, I'll put him on A tier. I'll come back to him later. Alright, Otoroshi. I like a lot of Otoroshi's attacks when it's offensive, but for the most part, it kind of becomes a big punching bag. It has a lot of cool moves, but then it's like not that strong in other situations, and I'm like, could have been cooler. So that's why it stays B tier. I think it's a very unique boss. It's not one of the most challenging for me, so I put it in B tier. Next up is Jokotsu Baba. A lot of cool moves, but I think I'm a bit biased against her because I fought her so much, and I can kind of trivialize her. So the challenge factor is kind of metered out, or kind of petered out, whatever the expression is. It's plateaued. So because of that plateau, and there's no further like cool things I feel like I can come up with that I'd be really excited to try, I'm like, I guess this is a starter boss after all type of deal. Similar logic with Yamagata Masakage. It's like, okay, they're starter bosses, so that's about it. I will say that for a starter boss, Jokotsu Baba is quite interesting. With the dual elements, you got the fire, you've got the ice. I'm hoping that DLC updates to her will make her more of a threat, and then I'm sure I'll really enjoy the fight. Next up is the yokai form of Yamagata Masakage. I definitely enjoy this one much more than the human form. I think the more irritating thing for me in the fight is just him like running around, and I'm like, okay, I guess I can try to run to you. And so just that disengage aspect takes me out of a lot of it. I'm actually okay if an enemy is just like aggressive towards me, but if an enemy is really passive, it kind of takes me out of it. Okita is B- for me because if he blocks when you first start the fight, but gets easier once you learn after a while. Yeah, fair. Pokemon Trainer is Poke tier, not gonna lie, because of the summons. Okay. Okay. So that whole principle of an enemy just backing away and me not being able to engage with it is precisely why I have Tokugawa Yoshinobu on B tier. It's one of the lesser. It's one of the, I just don't like the fact that I can't hit it, and I'm like trying to figure out how to hit it, and it's not like a fun process. It's a stressful process. Granted, I'm not that good against him. I can't reliably break his weak spots, and I think that's a big reason why I may not enjoy the fight. I imagine there's a lot more control I could have, so I think my perspective on Tokugawa Yoshinobu is subject to change based on me actually getting good. So it could be a skill issue thing too. But if it wasn't like, I still don't like it when in the Dark Realm, like as soon as he transitions, he just like flies up into the sky, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm waiting for you to come down, and I'm fighting on your terms. Like, okay, I guess. Like, I'm fine with him flying and doing some cool shit, but it reminds me of my frustrations with bosses in Wolong, where they would just fight and then all of a sudden, or fly, and then my options are very limited to what I can do. But samurai style, it's like, okay, well, I guess I have to wait. And I have to try to break your mouth when it glows, and that's really it. But beyond that, you're just gonna keep like dictating the fight in a way that I can't interact with meaningfully. I can use guardian spirit skills and summons, but melee range stuff is kind of out of the equation, and that's why I don't like it. And that's why it's in B tier. All right, so now we're going on to the awesome tier, A tier. So A tier are bosses that to me have there's something really cool about them in some capacity. For me, when I fought the human form of Taka the Shingen, I was blown away. I remember thinking the first time I encountered him, and when I beat him, I was like, yo, this is how living weapon boss fights should be. This was so fun. I didn't really mind him backing away as much because I didn't feel like it lasted that long or there was something I could do to punish it. It felt like me running him down and destroying him was rewarded with me getting the appropriate punish. Not to mention, his fire form was so cool, the music was so cool, the wind form was so cool. It was a very engaging fight, and yeah, I definitely still like it. Next up is Ibaraki Doji. Ibaraki Doji was a boss fight I didn't really like as much in the beginning, mostly because I found her to be on the slower side. But ever since I got more and more comfortable with the flex step and things of that nature, and just getting comfortable with Nioh 3 at large, I found her fight to be far more enjoyable. A lot of cool attacks with her lightning fists. I think for a lightning boss, she's incredibly unique. She can be surprisingly fast from time to time. And yeah, a lot of just like unique, interesting interactions I haven't seen before. So it was very refreshing to experience that fight. Ibaraki Doji should be in baddie tier. Okay. If Yoshinobu would fly closer to the ground, he would be a B tier for me. As it is, you put him in C tier. Understandable. For me, Yoshinobu is like B minus. Alright, so yeah, I do like Ibaraki's fight. Next we have Antiquity Hiroko. Incredibly unique fight. Many regards of it are inelegant. But at least the yokai form is pretty cool. I think the human form, it's alright, but like, I'd rather avoid it altogether and just get to the yokai form. The yokai form at least has a lot of unique patterns. When he summons the Death Veil, it's pretty cool too. And sure, and I think like one of the downsides is like half the time I just can't see shit. Especially when he just summons like a bunch of clouds and like explodes them and it's just like fire everywhere. And then it's like black on red on orange on gray and I'm like, I can't see shit, dude. So that can get a little frustrating, but by and large it's cool to me. I'm happy with the addition. Next up is Great Tengu. I like Great Tengu a lot, and I would be inclined to put him in S tier, but Great Tengu can be a bit squishy. And many of his attacks, while they're fast, I don't feel like he packs enough of a punch. I'm not particularly threatened by him, but so those are like kind of the downsides for me. But at the same time, what he does do looks absolutely fantastic. For a wind lightning hybrid boss, pretty cool. Flies around a lot. And the flying that he does is not obnoxious, which I'm very grateful for. He has one attack where he's out of the air or in the air for a while, where then he just like flaps the Tengu fan for like this big wind wave. That at least seems really cool. And there are some ways I can interact with it. For example, with the hatchets, I've done stuff like flying foot drill jump to avoid it, and then it perfectly lines up with I forget what is it, plummet, I think, for hatchets, where you throw two of them down and then drop down. It works pretty well. It's super cool. So yeah, I like Great Tengu quite a bit. Hey, what's up? Yeah, Human Hiroko has like 3 moves. It's really not all that much. So it's like fire form and ice form and like it's alright. Hey Chris, good to see you too. Tengu was great. Get it? Because it's a great Tengu. You find level sync doesn't do as well with the mid-low battle scrolls, can at least Stone of Penance it? Yeah, probably. I hope they fix the human enemies somehow. Yeah, I hope they do for all the enemies that I put in F tier, but I doubt it. My hope, though, for all these enemies in A tier, or even in the B tier, especially the Nioh 3 enemies, my hope is that for them, when they are, I'm hoping, one, they get new movesets that enhances their threat. And I have a lot of hopes for that, because in my experience with Team Ninja, they do a good job of making quote-unquote easy bosses become pretty crazy. I say that because I'm reminded of Stranger of Paradise's, I think, first boss, Chaos Advent. In the early difficulties is kind of a joke, straight up. It's your starter tutorial boss, quite the joke. Once you get to Lifenia difficulty, which is like DLC 3 type difficulty, he gets crazy. He just gets absolutely crazy, and I'm like, whoa, I gotta pay attention. Like an onslaught of attacks. So it's very exciting, and I'm really hoping that sort of treatment gets done for a lot of these enemies in Nioh 3, especially the more meaningful bosses, because that would be so awesome. And I'm hoping Great Tengu becomes an even bigger threat as a result too. Do I S plus boss as Thorngaki? No, Triggy, no. Do I use Stone of Penance? No, I don't. I found it kind of boring. It's like, oh yeah, everything's now more of a punching bag. Not a fun punching bag, but just a punching bag. And it just encourages me to go more heavily into like build play as opposed to just like learning more game mechanics. Because, put it simply, sure, I could become even better with the game mechanically. But even if I were to master that, it may not really make significant enough of a difference for Stone plus 5. Whereas if I just go with like a simple build, if I use General of Ruin, then I can deplete enemy key. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me I can do an easier thing in the game and get significantly greater rewards than if I do something that's more fun and more challenging? Okay, I guess. So I like just don't bother with the stone. All right. Punching back that was slam Zodachi on you. Okay. If you ignore the builds, the normal difficulty can already give long enough fights. Yeah, it's the same principle for me. So, yeah, like I already have like a weak character build. I didn't go max out my plus levels. I have like plus 7. And fights can take me 2 to 3 minutes, which is kind of my goal. So, yeah, I've been getting faster at some of the fights too, just because have so much active time. And these days, even the fights that are less than 2 minutes, like in Nioh 2, 2.5 minutes was usually enough. Like 2.5 to 3.5 minutes was more than enough for me to get my fill. But now with Nioh 3, I'm taking a significantly more actions per minute and juggling a lot more. So 2 minutes of intense stuff is still ridiculous. There's just so much to consider. Soji is B. What are your determining factors based on this list? One, a lot of it is based on how much I enjoyed the fight, if I found that it was constantly engaging in a way that I enjoyed, for the most part. So, with Okita Soji, he does a lot of really cool things, but there's also moments where it just feels like it's a very one-sided fight. Granted, I'm not the best against him, so there's probably a skill issue involved in there. But I'm also not like the most incentivized. It's like, okay, he does a bajillion attacks. I kind of just wait it out. Or I could parry, and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to like just parry fish for this. I like my back and forth. And I think the human version of Takeda Shingen does a good job of that balance for me. It's like with Kunimatsu, taking out the whole he backs away and regens his ki a lot. One strategy I've seen used against him very consistently is just flowing mist, sword of meditation. Just like, and that's it. Just parry. Okay. Just parry everything, bro. Just parry. And I'm like, okay, well, this kind of cheapens the fight because this boss gets trivialized by parries. Flowing mist and a sword of meditation. Okay, cool. Like, alright, but it's just, it gets so dry. And Okita Soji, I find, from what I've seen, can be very guilty of that same sort of stuff. But I like him more than Kunimatsu because he's pretty active and rarely just backs away into awkwardness. When he does back away, it seems to be for a very tactical purpose, for him to change his weapons and re-engage. So it's still, like, my brain is turning. It's like, okay, I have to prepare for this. Whereas with Kunimatsu, he's just like, yeah, man, I'm just going to hang out here and kind of just walk around and not really do anything until I get to full key, and then just wait for you to attack for 10 minutes, and then, all right, now I'll start counterattacking. And I'm like, bro, really? Just fight me. So it's that kind of difference. Now I wish I would have kept switching between samurai and ninja. I completely neglected samurai. I need to improve my skills with samurai. Hey, have fun. No, Oniryu. I'm ignoring you. Anyway, so hopefully that explains the Okita Soji stuff and then A tier stuff. I do like them. Now I'm going to talk about what's on S tier. For me, S tier is based on they're awesome in some major way, and they're really cool to fight and really cool to lab in some ways. They're not necessarily perfect in my opinion, but they get pretty close to what I think is a peak experience for me, and I can just basically never really turn down fighting them because there's always something I could do that's pretty cool. So I'm going to start off with Takatsuki Shinsaku over here. I think he's one of the coolest human fights in the game, period. I actually do like his phase 2 when he gets hyper armor, because it's a big change in the fight, and we get hyper armor, and it's just like an intense back and forth, so it feels like a nice dance. And that's a lot of fun. I also think his whole gunshot stuff, his like jumping around, just like everything feels so cinematic about it. And I liked it quite a bit. Hey JDZ, good to see ya. I'm doing alright, just going through a little tier list as usual. Well, not as usual, but a tier list for Nioh. Nioh content is the usual. So yeah, Takatsuki Shinsaku. The music was amazing. Going from phase 1 to phase 2, and then his Guardian Spirit playing the shamisen for like the boss fight. I'm like, it was such a pleasure. When I experienced this back in November at Koei Tecmo America, and I encountered this fight, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. So that's like become a core memory now. It was that fantastic. I enjoyed it that much. So yeah, I think that's easily my favorite human boss fight in Nioh 3, and I think arguably period. I prefer that fight over even Ren Hayabusa in Nioh 2, easily. Just has like so much cool shit. Alright, next up, I'm just going from right to left for S tier, is Yoritomo. I think a big part of why I enjoy Yoritomo so much is because he's just a badass. It's just a straight up badass. Lots of really cool attacks, a lot of cool motion, a lot to learn, a lot to practice, a lot of cool interactions are possible. Always kind of a threat, always someone I have to take seriously. So I'm very much engaged. And having that engagement in a boss fight is very important for me to enjoy it. And I think Yoritomo does that for me very nicely. So yeah, it's like cool to revisit him. New game plus 2 Shinsaku will use a submachine gun? Perhaps. Alright, next is the yokai form of Takeda Shingen. I remember here, let me put this over here. I remember the first time I saw Takeda Shingen in footage. I thought like, oh, it just seems like a standard boss in Nioh. And then I actually fought the guy and I'm like, bro, he's kicking my ass. Like when I was trying to play the Nioh 2 wave, like that I was so used to. But when I engage more with Nioh 3 systems, this boss, while I fought him like a bajillion times, is incredibly fun. Very active boss. A lot of cool moves. It's a very dynamic fight. There's like all sorts of stuff that the player can do. Very little downtime. It's a fight I have to pay attention to, and so and in a good way. I don't feel like he's cheap. I feel like he's very fair. How hard is my ass kicked? Oh man, I think it took me like at least an hour to beat him. I don't remember. But yeah, like fighting Takeda Shingen's yokai form has been a blast. Even though I fought him a bajillion times and I like kind of have his moveset down pat, I'm still like have to be on my toes and like pay attention, which is great. It's not like a boss I can tune out, say such as like Onryoki or any of these other ones in like D tier. Like with D tier, I'm just like, okay, can I just like be done with this? I don't want to fight this enemy anymore. I'm kind of bored. So there's that. But Takeda Shingen is still pretty cool. It's like discovering an interaction here. He has really fast, hard-hitting attacks. It's very much a fight, like I said, I have to pay attention to. Otherwise, I get destroyed. So it's it feels fair. So I like it a lot. So next I have Nuribotoke, who I actually like a lot. Nuribotoke is one of my favorite yokai bosses in Nioh 3, simply because he keeps me on my toes as well. Lots of mix-ups. It feels very, very challenging overall. It's like my boss where I have to have big brain. Yesterday when I was fighting him, he kicked my ass. He kept grabbing me, and I'm like, fuck. I can't avoid it. It's just a very unique experience, and the unpredictability of it mixed with the high threat levels to the attacks makes it one of those boss fights that I want to get good at for sure. Very, very difficult boss, but I think overall fair. I think the one negative thing is that half the time I can't see shit in the Dark Realm. But beyond that, I think it's a very tough boss, and yeah, I like my difficult bosses. Yes, he grabbed my butt cheeks. He grabbed my butt cheeks, and I was not happy with him grabbing my butt cheeks. So yeah, Nuribotoke, easily one of my favorites. Next up, we have the three demons, Pride, Envy, and Obsession. They're all incredibly unique fights, and that alone already makes them S tier for me. One thing that's also been very cool about each of these fights is that the more time I spend with them, the cooler ways I can interact with them. So if you have been paying attention to some of my recent streams, with Samurai style, because I've gotten comfortable with the deflect step, now fights against Demon of Envy are a lot faster. I remember I used to struggle with Samurai style because I felt like I just couldn't stay next to her. Now I can. And it just changes the dynamics of the fight so much, so it's like this very nice like cinematic dance. Same principle with Demon of Pride as well. Demon of Obsession, not so much, but there's still a lot of like unique ways I can interact with the fight at large. So of the three, Obsession is like the least, like maybe S- tier. But I definitely really like Demon of Pride and Demon of Envy, for sure. They're like definitely S tier for me. And yeah, just very unique. The music's really cool. A lot of really cool ways to interact. Take full advantage of both styles. And yeah, I don't really see any downsides to them. So yeah, I think they're great, and I can't wait to see what comes out later. In the DLC, like how they get updated. Alright, next up, we got Blood Edge Demon. This is easily S+ for me. I'd argue S+, even more than the final boss. But Blood Edge Demon is like one of the coolest enemies in the entire game. In the entire series. 4 different elements with a bunch of different attacks. Huge, crazy, like speedy attacks, crazy threats, and it's it's a fight that I have yet to fully master. It's like a badass fight. It's a serious threat. I'm like, yo, if this is a taste of what's to come in the DLC, hell yeah, dude. This is what I want. I absolutely like want more Blood Edge Demon type stuff. You guys remember how when Itsumade was introduced in Nioh 3, there was I think the internet basically thought, oh my gosh, this is too hard, it's too crazy, should be a boss. And now it's like, yo, Itsumade's a baby compared to Blood Edge Demon. And then I remember for Nioh 3, I remember talking to some people about like, what if there's like a Blood Edge Itsumade? Oh my god. So Blood Edge Demon is one of those fights where it feels so satisfying to achieve victory easily. So guaranteed S tier, like without a doubt. The fire form, lightning form, water form, wind form, just having all of those to reckon with and to learn has just been such a pleasure. So easily there. I would say Blood Edge Demon's like S plus, like one of the enemies I actively want to fight and get good at. Even more so some of the other ones. Last but certainly not least is the final boss, Hiroko. So Hiroko, the final form used to be on a lower tier for me, but ever since I got more comfortable to deflect step and now have more windows of opportunity to attack, it started to hit that place of like, oh, there's so much like, there's much more of that cinematic dance. Hiroko has a lot of amazing attacks, a variety of different forms. You've got base form, fire form, ice form, blood form, spiky form, or needle form, and then lightning form. And it's just a crazy fast-paced fight that I gotta take seriously, very unique, and it's just like it's an excellent finale for a final boss fight for the base game. I prefer Hiroko over Otakimaru any day. So yeah, I can't wait to see what gets mixed up for things in the future for a lot of these enemies. But yeah, I think that's pretty much my tier list when it comes to Nioh 3 things. What's going on? Yeah, Blood Edge Demon is crazy. Yeah, that first encounter, it like messed me up. Scroll with two of them on screen. Maybe. I find it interesting truly how much I would shuffle some of these, yeah. Hiroko with pants on when? Yeah, maybe that's what's gonna happen with the DLC. Hiroko will get some pants. Blood Edge slops, let's go. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's my tier list. I'm gonna double check to see if there's anything I might want to change. I kind of doubt it. Maybe like some things shuffled here and there, but maybe I could put Fish Boy in C tier, I guess. But yeah, like these S tier enemies are the ones I enjoy fighting and want to get good at for sure. Other ones I don't really have as much motivation. Or even if I were to perfectly master them, I'm like, yeah, but the fights ain't that cool. Like, it's cool I can pull stuff off, but it's not like a real joy as it is against some of these other ones. Final boss Hiroko, aka Better Otakemono. I know, right? Yeah, that's my boss. That's my preferences and bosses. No, we don't need a Saito Toshimitsu. Hidden DLC boss. Okay. All right, well, so that's going to be it for the tier list portion of the stream. And now I'm going to go back to playing, Nioh 2. Not Nioh 2, Nioh 3. Alright, so... I really don't like Great Tengu. I think it would be one of the better bosses in the game for me, but my eyes hurt from all that snow clutter in the arena. Yeah, I know what you mean. Alright, so as with usual, you guys can feel free to make requests for weapons. What would you guys like to see? Has it been too soon for Cestises again? No, it's not. You want Cestus, you got Cestus. Yoritomo with sword and split staff? Alright, so it looks like sword and Cestises, is that what's going on? Alright, sword, Cestus, and split staff. Make one request. Alright, so I see a lot for Cestus. So Oxy, make... Okay, I see Cestus axe. I got Cestus sword. It's gonna be tricky, but Cestus is for sure. Okay, I see sword, sword. Alright, I'll do Cestus with sword. Split staff. Alright, what else for ninja style? Dual swords? Alright, dual ninja swords and split staff. It is. Oh, so I never leveled that up. You're liking Heavenly Strike combo and big targets? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's pretty nuts. Especially on like enemies such as Demon of Pride. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, here I go. A weapon tier list? I could do one. Sure. Damn it. Damn it. I haven't played Split Step in ages. I can do a weapon tier list. Oops. Oh, I don't have defensive drop on. Son of a... Seriously? What mission this is this? This is New Game Plus exclusive. You have to beat the game. Once you beat the game, you can do this on New Game.
虚しいあがきだな。国松様の姿勢は変わらぬ。
Are you serious? Okay. Oops. Oh, damn, that reach? Really? Damn, son.
差は私のものだ。
Stop backing away, my god! Oh, I forgot. Nope. Yeah, this is a tough mission. It's the last boss. And if I die, I do have to restart it all over again. So after you beat this mission, it's called A Sinister End. You unlock 6 different missions. Originally it was just 1, but then they released these 5 new missions, which are very difficult, as you can tell. It's like 5 bosses in a row. It's like pretty long. Well, let's try Weapon tier list next. I can do that another stream, I suppose. I have to get it all prepared, but yeah, I could. Seriously. Does Nioh have to be my favorite base game, Nioh? Oh yeah. Close enough. Which Dragon Dance is more useful in 3? At least we got the aerial version. Haven't tested that out enough to know. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I did the favorite tier boss list stuff already, so probably go back like an hour or so. I think maybe I don't know. I don't know how long it's been since I stopped it, but it didn't take me too long. All right, that's 2 out of the 5. Next, my goal is to try to beat all of these in one stream. Beating 2. Hey, Jax. Oh, really? God damn it, Serrano Ona got me. Damn. So much for doing everything first try. Oh well. Finally able to catch her stream after working months straight, no days off. Damn, dude, that's rough. What do you do for work? Really? A mermaid? Not a boss, just a mermaid. A mermaid's what gets me. Okay, I got it. Two trials? Oh yeah. Yeah, you're an intellectual property attorney, is that right? Do I not like Yoshinobu fight as much as the others fight chapter final fights? Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it's all that stuff. I got her in the air. Uppercutted. It's because he flies a lot, yeah. It's my inability. It's because I don't know how to hit him in the air like reliably. Don't do a grab, don't do a grab. Oh, he did it right after, no. No, it's not weird you enjoy it on keyboard. You enjoy the game, that's cool. You're having fun with the game, great! Yeah, imagine what people can do on the keyboard. I'm not sure. I'm very familiar with that. I generally go for key damage over melee damage. If I had to pick between the two. Ooh, that was kind of close. Is a cheer that's going to be a YouTube video? I can make it one, yeah. I can just edit it, cut it, it's fine. Okay, 3 out of the 4 super missions, let's go. Oh, sorry, not 3 out of the 4, 3 out of the 6. Okay. Alright, it's time for easy mode. Are you guys ready? I don't think you're ready. This is gonna be so dumb.
天狗たちビクトルの兵法平家を下した力ご覧に入れよ
Alright, here we go. Big brain.
王子様本気を見せましょう
Now you know. I hope they update him. Yeah, that's how you can choose them. Anything mid-air will work. Get out of here. Okay, I got one more guy. And I got living artifact to save me if I need it. You got like you got I think some. What do you get? I don't actually remember. Probably some skill points, if I had to guess. See ya. Hey, what's up, Catman? Yeah, I think the first time rewards are some samurai locks. I think with some missions, there's some skills you can unlock. There's just 2 of them. One's like Artful Deflection, Artful Evade, or something. But yeah, you're doing it mostly for a challenge. Yeah, that second phase is stressful. Okay, I've got demonic duels. That'll take like 3 years. Yeah, no more stagger bullying. That's actually why I like it. Oops. You learned that I can burst break to cancel Swirling Tide into midair dodge. Nice, nice. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. Goodbye. Shugetsune, I fought Otoroshi earlier today. Unfortunately, you weren't there. Dang, am I actually gonna be able to complete all this? All the difficult missions, all the main, and the final place? I guess there's students in Gumi best of 5. Yeah, I don't want to do those ones, those are boring. How do I think about Toroshi then? I'll try to show you. Okay. I hate the way it angle the claw swipes to hit me when I'm on the side of its back. Well, my advice would be, rather than trying to avoid it, if you're playing samurai style, would be to try to deflect it. If you can predict it, you can deflect it, basically. So it's going to try to hit you. If you know it's consistent, then you have that opportunity to fight back. I'll try to get to it today. Alright, last one here. And then I'll go to see if I can do a Toroshi. so far so good. For Otorochi in general, I just kind of just brute force it. I haven't had that much trouble. Oh my god, Umberman, what you doing? Okay, so far so good. Sweet. Are the weapons still split between ninja and samurai? Yes, they are. Does that happen anyway when he goes to the Dark Realm? I think so, I'm not really sure. It was one of those details I'm not the most familiar with. Oh, this is annoying. Shit, I do not want to waste my thing now. Double soldier, right? Alright, last enemy. Dude, have I actually did all the side missions? Damn. Well, assuming I don't screw it up. I did it. Full clear on everything. Of final region side missions, damn. Alright, Shukit Tsunubi, are you still here? Still here for Otoroshi? I hope you are. Wow, I did all of these in one stream. Yeah, all of them. I feel like the Blood Edge demons outside of the scroll give you a harder time. They do. Alright, you're here? You want Otoroshi or no? Let me know. So, the Blood Edge demons on the outside, one, it's hard to find them. Second, I'm tired. And third, I am trying to style on them. As opposed to just crush them. Right, no ledges as well. That's a bunch of different factors. So yes, I have now officially completed all of these 6 missions on stream. Ooh. But to be fair, you've probably gotten better since I last saw you on them. Yeah, that could be a factor too. I've gotten a lot more comfortable with this moveset. It's not they're not the most intimidating anymore. But trying to do crazy things on them, yeah, it still is. I saw your previous encounter, you can improve on that. Alright. Want to see Otoroshi? Then here we go. I think one thing that also helps is that I'm very comfortable regenerating HP with split staff. Gain Amrita's strong attack is basically an elixir at this point. And that no doubt is gonna help a ton. See how much HP I just get from doing that? Benji, I see you're asking a question. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Let me get to a shrine and then I will happily answer it. Hey, I'm thinking about starting up another Nioh 3 playthrough, but I haven't played since release. Any tips on learning brand new weapons without getting overwhelmed? Yes. Focus on just learning one thing at a time. If you're getting overwhelmed, dial down the challenge to something that's manageable. So let me ask you, what about learning brand new weapons get overwhelming? Let's get more specific, that way we can just chunk it down to like the one thing you know, you're like, yeah, I could just focus on this and work on this and it won't be too bad, and I'll have fun. Oops. I think that human bosses should lose their key bar. Pointless mechanic, especially at +5 stone. What are you talking about? I'm sure Kunimatsu's key is totally reasonable on +5 stone, and it's absolutely fun. What are you talking about? Come on. Okay, so Demi, I ended up blinding this upcoming boss because I was using Cutting Blast and the sand throwing, which so which ends up happening is when he goes for the grab, he just lands in reverse. That's hilarious, dude. Honestly, knowing what's good and versus what's not, also arts proficiency chaining. Okay. So, I take it for you what's good versus what not is what does damage with certain weapons. So here's the thing. It sounds like you're gonna go for samurai style. Arts proficiency chaining is much more advanced than just learning like some of the stuff I think you're talking about. I chain things specifically in arts proficiency in a way that's very intentional. It's not just like, oh, let me string a bunch of random skills. It's usually like, oh, I want to go from this to this. I specifically want to do this and go into that. But I know, kind of that question you were asking before, I know what's good in this situation for me versus what's not. So, when it comes to weapons, say in samurai style, I would say arguably that cestises might be one of the more overwhelming weapons to work with, because Cestus's power relies even more so on understanding all of it. There are some things that you can do to assist, making it easier, but it has a lot of moves. Now, even before the whole, like, hey, learn this weapon versus learn that weapon, I want to ask you, what is the weapon that looks the coolest to you, that seems the most fun for you? Let's start, I say that because if we start at that point, it'll make the process of learning it a lot easier, and I can give you more specific tips from there. Like, I would say, just check out the moves, be like, oh, that move looks cool. Just looks cool. Not necessarily like, oh, it's powerful or whatever. Just that it looks cool. So that could be sword. You might think, oh, sword's so cool. It has this kick-ass move. Then we'll just go with sword. Or it could be, yo, I really like... I've played all the Nioh games thus far, but maybe you want to try Spear this playthrough. Okay, perfect. You want to try Spear. So, what I would say, if you're going to try Spear in Nioh 3, then just start with one stance. Get comfortable with one stance. Don't worry about high stance, don't worry about, don't worry about 2-3 stances. Just start with one. I would recommend either mid or low stance. That's all. Get comfortable with that stance. Try to understand how it works. What are the pros and cons with the different abilities that you have? I think with Spear, with mid stance, you don't have that many options to get overwhelmed by. So you just start small with Spear mid stance, and then you can start getting comfortable working in another stance of your choice. So you just get comfortable switching in between those. And then the third stance. Just get comfortable with that. That would be like my recommended starting point. In terms of dedicated guides for Spear, I have one for Nioh 2, which I think will be good enough for lots of things with Nioh 3. I don't really have any guides for arts proficiency, so that's a whole different matter. But my Spear guide should probably just give you a good amount of help. Alright, let's fight Otoroshi. Aw, well, Scamper's got the kill. Okay, well, it died. I don't think that addressed the concern that Chikitsunebi had. I think the claw swipes that you're talking about, the 1-2, that's something I just got comfortable with either evading or deflecting. Just assume it's gonna track onto me. Yeah, the belly's the breakpoint. Pretty cool. Well, I did all these. Yeah, so Benji, I would just say start with individual stances, get comfortable with each of the moves on there, and then you'll slowly just learn the weapon over time. One other thing with Spear is, and this can sound very obvious, but in the heat of battle we can sometimes forget. Make sure you're a little bit, you're at Spear range. Don't be point blank range, don't be like super close. Have some distance. And then moves with the Spear will feel a lot better. You're meant to poke with the tip of the Spear and keep your target a little far away. So play the distance game. You got super comfortable with breaking Fishboy mouth when he goes for the grab? Bro, I need to get on your level. I'm not comfortable doing that. How do you do it consistently? Because you play Cestises, so I imagine you're close range a lot. I gotta check that out. Because that sounds awesome, Demi. Just with Cestus though, the dive kick. And it works? Like, even if you're at close range, it'll work? Still, if you're comfortable with one weapon, you have an edge over me. I want to learn that. I want to get good. That's one boss I'm not good at. every time, but he normally backs up a bit. You can Heavenly Strike combo if he is close. Oh my god. That's awesome. That's so cool. Oh god, no. I could do this, but the 4 bosses before Okita will just... Oh no. I won't enjoy it. No, I don't want to fight the humanoid crap bosses. They're boring. So I won't. Alright, any cool accessories? No. I died quickly. I'm still on appropriate level gears in New Game Plus and had a lot of HP. I gotta get familiar with every mix-up it has. There's that, and also don't forget, if you're playing samurai style, if you can do 6 different martial arts during arts proficiency, your damage goes up by like 60-70%. It's huge. I'll demonstrate real quick in the training ground. I do a lot of attacks, and the reason enemies die is just because I do a lot of attacks and I'm very comfortable with the game at large. Okay, so let me showcase this with cestises, alright? I'll do a limitless tough without any buffs. Assuming I can do it. Okay, 5,461 damage. Okay, that's quite a lot. Okay, let's see what happens if I get an attack buff. 5,461. Come on, take the hit. Okay, 6,000. Really? That's it? It's only a 10% increase? My attack buff is only a 10% increase in damage? Really? Okay. 6,701. Okay. Okay. 11,761. Like, that's big. That's a big deal. Right, and I'm not even accounting for unbroken stacks as well, which I forget how much how that goes up too. Like, I got basically a roughly 60-70% boost. Let me try to do 10 stacks. I don't know if it'll be possible, but I'll try. Okay, 13.8. Alright, so I don't know if that was full. Did I do 6 attacks? I'm not sure. So, right, so there Shugetsu Nibi, I more than doubled my damage with Limitless. 10 stacks, right? I went from, let's see, just base damage. What's the base damage again? Okay, 5, 4, 6, 1. And what did I have before? I had like 13,880 divided by 5, 4, 6, 1. I did 2.5 times damage. If I had a full 10 stacks and full arch proficiency, I did I had a 2.5 damage multiplier to Limitless. That is nuts, dude. Nuts! Pretty big damage, and bear in mind I don't have a big damage build. So anyway, all that to say, I'm very comfortable with these weapons, and so knowing getting all the stacks, getting all the damage boosts is what allows me to like destroy enemies' faces despite the fact that my build is on the weaker side. Otherwise, like, take a look at my piss poor damage. 157. Let's take a look at Sword of Meditation damage, just out of curiosity. With DLC getting close, I hope our DLC weapon is something we can use for both styles. Oh, maybe it will be. Maybe it won't, I don't know. Could be interesting. Alright, what's base Samurai style Sword of Meditation damage? 8,392, what the shit? More than Limitless now? Okay, max stack damage, how much? 16. And it's still a tremendous amount. So I did double. So right, using arts proficiency well can mean you do a lot more damage. And with stuff like Sword of Meditation, it gets ridiculous pretty fast. So I don't really have a shortage of damage. If I really want to tap into it, I can. Which is why I can usually blow up a lot of the enemies. I discovered... Yeah, I know, Sword of Meditation super balanced. I'm surprised it does more damage than a fully stacked Limitless Tough. I'm like, and it doesn't deplete your ki. I'm like, maybe some balancing issues are in order. I don't know. I discovered something that apparently was a thing in Nioh 2 as well. Kick Cycle lets your ki regen if you use a with Nioh 0 ki. Yeah, I saw. I've heard of that. Interesting little oversight. In other words, if you know how to play samurai style and ninja style well, you'll kick ass. That's all. Does a short Sword of Meditation do more damage than a fully charged quick draw? Probably. I guess I can test that real quick. Let's find out. Yeah, I think Sword of Meditation's a bit busted now. I'm like, damn, dude. They shortened the key pulse window and they improved the damage feels very very high. Okay, 3,889. It does more damage? Unreal. Jeez. Yeah, alright, well. Oh, and bear in mind, peeping, I think I have 8%, 15% extra sheath damage. Sword of Meditation, oh my god. It cuts through guard, right? Yes, I believe Sword of Meditation does. By the way, Poofer, do you think when DLC drops and Stronger New Game Plus comes, we're all gonna need gameplay adjustment to get appropriate damage? Yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure it'll be a jump. How much of a jump? I don't know. But Arts Proficiency, EI Quick Draw is good for utility and combo bridges, though. Yeah. Sword of Meditation and, like, is the ultimate. You want big damage? Sword of Meditation. Great. You're practically not going to throw in Sword of Meditation as much as EI? Yeah, you practically won't. I mean, Sword of Meditation for the full charge is very long. Even the quick thing. I'm very surprised they not only seem to buff the damage, but also the key pulse window. But then again, you can always cancel it with style shift flow. I think the full charge is still the same amount of time, but dang, key pulse window is very generous. What's a martial arts that feels the most satisfying to pull off? Oh, I already know. I think for me, the most satisfying martial art is Focus Strike Heavy. This is the most satisfying one to me in the entire game. This is like my new sort of meditation. Big boom. I think that's number one. Sort of meditation's fun. Aside from that, Limitless Tough is also pretty fun too. Alright, well, I did all these in one stream. Damn. I think I need my DLC now. I think a big part of it is that I was able to survive courtesy of Split Staff Strong Attack. That so much Amrita gets generated, which in turn heals me, which keeps me alive. I'll bully these guys again. Focus Strike actually scares you when you first did it to the poor Panaki Juji. He died so quickly his body was still moving, but I couldn't damage him because he was dead. That's pretty funny. Thanks, Demi.
竹千代なのだ。私ではダメなのか。
I wanted to do opportunist and he just died to it. Just a single kick. Oof. Oh well. That ended so quickly. I'm gonna do it again.
「
I'm in my bully everything phase now? Yeah, pretty much. The activate living artifact on no life, I think also makes things a little less stressful. If I really screw up, I'm fine. Oh, takedown 3 feels so good. The stars you have to land, yeah, it's very hard for me to pull that off. I've done it against Hiriko and I think like a few other enemies, but it's pretty challenging. Alright, see ya. And eat it. Goodbye. Got a double grapple somehow. Cool. Alright, that's good enough. I am done. Yeah, see you later, Demi. Thanks for hanging out. How close am I to capping this clan? Ooh, 53k. So only 7,000 left, huh? Nice. We'll be done with it pretty soon. Whew. Well, let me deposit my 200 million on Rita. I have so much.
いらっしゃい。
Oh, nearly 9 billion.
じゃあまたね。
That's quite a lot. How many clans have I capped? Let me take a look real quick. I want to say like 5 to 8? Okay, this is almost there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and soon it'll be 9. Cool. I remember when I had PlayStation Plus, it was a lot faster to just get all the glory just from helping people. Some missions, it's like, oh, I got like 6k. I'm like, damn, it's a lot. But that's obviously grinding. I don't really want to grind. Well, time for me to dip out. I'll get the tier list video just like uploaded at some point for those of you that came in late. So probably do a weapon tier list at some point in the future too. Maybe tomorrow, who knows. In any case, thank you all so much for watching. It's always nice to have you guys' company. And I will see everybody later. Take care and bye.